Out of order. Shit happens.
Heads up, we got a bogey on our 6.
What is that even? Now shut up! But I'm hoping you'll think we are. What are you doing?
Listen.
Great.
I can hear them sometimes, and they...
I see yours first.
It's clear. So, where to? All right.
It's all eyes like Pac said. I'm the
Waits and breathe cities of men. All your memory. That's right! You thought... How'd you find me? Your lady. Like the fish you are!
They're from the depths! They're scared of the light! Come on! You ready to to jump?
Tear us apart!
We don't have a choice!
Here. Since the beginning, and champions try and worthy as you, mongrel blood to so be it. Thought yourself a king?
You're right. Because I thought I was worthy. I don't. I do.
King Atlan.
I'm nobody. I came to save my home. I came because
Has ever freed the dream you unworthy. And I am.
remember, their leadership will turn the tide. Defeat.
Death to the... But I will never forget!
Not Your Highness.
You can take my army. Allegiance! So be it!
There are too many casualties. We have to stop fighting.
And what if I can't?
Not in yours.
Impossible!
He has the trident. I turn your back on that now, then the Atlantis you're fighting.
The sea.
People must bear witness.
That trident doesn't... Atlantis will never... Will then my bloodshed... Mercy is not our way.
Stop killing! Long story. I'll tell you.
We thought
I know,
you were with him.
and I love you so much. Your father taught you, and the sea.
Pag nakita nyo na meta siya or paano talaga siyang gamitin, matutuwa na
Nice
naman
na
kayo
pala
sa
yung
kanya.
nice na pala yung alt eh. Hindi na
Feel. When you're ready.
Today began in bloodshed. King Arthur of Atlantis.
So, this is gonna die. But Atlantis' memory is long.
My weapon!
Their two worlds were never meant. No.
No, I think it's a man.
That's not a man.
Aquaman!
I scavenged the high seas. Dad.
Got yourselves into this mess, get yourselves out of here.
He's trapped. You can't leave.
People, your ass is see.
so you can kill that son of a bitch! Go! Go! Stop! Go!
In the name of...
Brother, finally here. Ashamed of my mother for defiling herself. Brother's heart, I wanted to run.
Welcome to DP Action Channel. Please subscribe and press the bell icon. The story in the 1980s. Queen Atlanta, Nicole Kidman, escaped from her arranged marriage in Atlantis, washing ashore and being rescued by local lighthouse keeper Thomas Curry, Temuera Morrison, with the pair soon falling in love and producing a young baby named Arthur. When Atlanta's soldiers emerge from the depths to reclaim Atlanta, Arthur is left in Thomas's care, raised with human attitude and Atlantine powers, a product of a being of two worlds. Decades later, Arthur, Jason Momoa, is known as superhuman Aquaman, helping those in need of ocean rescue between mugs of beer and enjoying his life. However, trouble comes to find Arthur, when he's confronted by Princess Mara Amberheard, who pleads with him to venture to Atlantis and take his rightful place as its king, preventing its current ruler King Orm, Patrick Wilson, Arthur's half-brother, from waging war against the surface world. Unbeknownst to Orm, Mara and the royal vizier Vulko, Willem Dafoe, have found a clue that will lead Arthur to the legendary lost trident of King Atlan, Graham McTavish, and, if proven worthy to retrieve the weapon, he will wield the power of the seas and be able to take the throne from Orm's iron grip. However, Arthur isn't quite enthused by the plan and has nothing to do with the kingdom nor be its ruler. Meanwhile, Orm is trying to untie the remaining underwater kingdoms with the help of Mara's father King Nerus, Dolph Lundgren, in order to start a war with the surface dwellers. In addition, Arthur makes an enemy out of David Kane, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, a ruthless pirate killer, who has a personal vendetta to settle with the Aquaman. With so many enemies working against him, it's unclear if Arthur would be able to find Atlan's trident in time and whether he'll be worthy to wield it in order to prevent the coming war. Thus, Arthur must become more than a king. He must become a hero. The good/the bad, as many of you know if you've been following my blog. I've been a big fan of superhero movies, especially the MCU and their comic books feature films within its shared cinematic universe. However, that's not to say that would completely bash the DCU like many have, but I simply cannot deny the fact their movies have hid several major problems that do hurt the films from being hailed as cinematic superhero greatness. To me, I actually like Man of Steel, being setting up a very intricate and grandiose backstory/origin film for this new iteration of Superman, as well as establishing the first entry within the cinematic world of DC superheroes. However, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice was just too busy and trying to serve too many masters. That is, being a sequel to Man of Steel, an origin story for Affleck's Bruce Wayne/Batman, and setting up further DC superheroes within this shared universe, and Suicide Squad, while having a fun/unique premise and a recognizable cast, had a thin plot and undeveloped bad guy/villainy that ultimately didn't live up to the film's overall hype. However, Wonder Woman arrived on the scene and blew me away, including myself, as
New Dove Radiant Care Deodorant Serum with 3% niacinamide and 10 times collagen.
However, Wonder Woman arrived on the scene and blew me away, including myself, as it was a great superhero origin story thanks to actress Gal Gadot in the role of Diana/Wonder Woman and director Patty Jenkins's overall direction for the film and a shining beacon of hope for the Tsu. Unfortunately, that shining beacon of hope diminished with the arrival of Justice League, which I found to be disappointing and felt as a letdown. There were some parts of it that I liked, but like Suicide Squad, the movie didn't live up its own hype, making Justice League a pretty unsatisfying follow-up installment to Wonder Woman. All in all, while the MCU has found a winning formula, the Tsu still stands on shaky ground with an uncertain future looming beyond the horizons. Looking for another big hit to save this shared universe franchise. This, of course, brings me back to talking about Aquaman, the sixth superhero entry in the Tsu and one of the last comic book superhero movies of 2018. Given how much Justice League left such a sour taste in my mouth, I wasn't too excited to see another Tsu, and, while I liked his appearance in Justice League, I wasn't enthralled to see an Aquaman movie. To be honest, of the pantheon of DC comic book superheroes, I wasn't a big fan of Aquaman. I mean, I was curious to see how Warner Brothers was gonna try to salvage the Tsu, but I was more excited about Wonder Woman 2, that is Wonder Woman 1984, rather a solo Aquaman film. However, after seeing the film's various trailers along with the announcement of the film's cast, Momoa, Heard, Wilson, Dafoe, Kidman, etc., I was getting more and more excited to see this movie. I mean, the film's visuals looked fantastic from the movie trailers and looked like a big-budgeted popcorn superhero feature. Something that I like and something worth watching for those who like escapism within motion pictures. Thus, I was pretty excited to see Aquaman, but still had a tiny lingering shroud of doubt in the back of my mind that this movie could be another superhero bomb for the Tsu like Justice League. So, despite my busy schedule of work, yes, I do work in retail. Hooray for that, I went to see Aquaman during its opening night, with eager anticipation. So, what did I think of it? Well, it was awesome. While it lacks a sort of refinement finesse, Aquaman makes up for its large-scale visuals and fantasy adventure narrative for a highly palpable and crowd-pleasing cinematic superhero endeavor. Like Wonder Woman, Aquaman stands on its own merits and is arguably one of the better entries of the Tsu. Aquaman has directed James Wan, whose previous directorial works include several noteworthy horror movies, including Saw, Insidious, and The Conjuring, as well as the action feature film Furious 7. So, with his background more in the horror genre, it was a bit odd to see one helming a superhero movie, especially from a major studio that desperately needs a win for this cinematic franchise. To his credit, Wan provides to be perfectly fine in the role of directing Aquaman, projecting a crystal-clear image and capable of handling a big-budgeted blockbuster. What's most impressive of Wan's vision for this Aquaman movie is the film's overall scope. The whole narrative, from start to finish, feels very large, expansive, and epic, with Wan wanting to express a certain type of a large-scale grandiose for the feature. While it's an ambitious gamble for a blockbuster feature to pull this off, that is bigger doesn't always mean better. Wan seems to have a great understanding of handling such a large vision for this movie, and the film's final product definitely shows that. Yes, there's plenty of large usage of G visuals throughout Aquaman's runtime, but Wan still makes the film's main character the heart and soul of the film's story, using the movie's action set pieces for eye candy and making its various players large-than-life characters, with some providing to have a particular earnest emotions of classic superhero tropes. In addition, Wan makes Aquaman follow its own drum, with movie having a different from its Tsu predecessors by adding more of a humor side, with some cheesy one-liners throwing into the mix. While some might balk at the idea of its usage in the movie, it actually does work and provides Aquaman with its own rhythm and styles. All in all, Wan's directing provides a great balance of large big-screen action and crafting a visual spectacle, which makes Aquaman big-time fun, something that the Tsu needs right now. Final thoughts: Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, embarks upon a journey and becomes the person he was born to be in the movie Aquaman. Director James Wan's latest film sees the iconic DC superhero character getting his own superhero origin movie, projecting a very fun and unique Tsu feature that separates itself from the rest of its predecessors. While there are a few minor pieces that the movie can't iron out completely, a crammed narrative, a weak secondary baddie, but the film succeeds on its own merits, especially thanks to Wan's directing, a grand underwater world, creative/visually rendered realm, and a Momoa's unique swagger to the superhero character. Personally, I love this movie. There were a few bits that I thought that Wonder Woman did better, but by and large, Aquaman dances, or rather swims, to the beat of its own drums. It visual amazing, epic in its scope, and largely entertaining in its classic hero's journey. It truly is the best Tsu movie that's current out. Thus, it comes as no surprise that my recommendation for this movie is extremely solid, highly recommended, as there is plenty of fun and blockbuster energy to keep a viewer happily entertained throughout the film's story. Given the positive reviews from both critics and moviegoers alike, it's safe to assume that there's gonna be an Aquaman 2 on the horizon sometime soon. It's just a question of when. Though I'm imagining the next few years. In the end, does Aquaman turn the tide in the Tsu franchise? It's hard to say, but it's a step in the right direction, much like what Wonder Woman was able to achieve. Still, Aquaman stands as a crowning achievement and rousing crowd-pleasing win for the Tsu, acting as a fun standalone feature as well as a highly satisfying entry within this shared cinematic universe of DC superheroes.